Thank you. So, what advice would you give me? A young girl like me? I mean, it's so hard out here. I'm literally struggling, fighting myself and the world every day, trying to survive first, then learn to secure myself enough to thrive and live happily and fulfilled. I want to live a life full of luxury, happiness, grace, blessings. I want to be highly favored. I mean, they tell me I'm too masculine, yet I find out men are literally trained to manipulate women, not to love them. What kind of world is that? That would raise you to love men, but not raise men to love you, but to manipulate you. I mean, it really confuses me. They pretend to love you, to get you, and then show they don't appreciate you. I mean, guys barely want to even take you on a date or spend any money on you. I, if they do take you out, it's the cheapest spot you could ever think of. They'll know you specifically tell them, I want to be well cared for. I want to live a life of luxury, etc. And they'll still promise you that. Promise you that they can do that for you. Maybe even start it, but don't keep it up. After a few months or years, they can't do anything for you anymore. For whatever reason they create. I'm a fatherless child that was left in the dark about a lot in life. Like learning about men and how to deal with men, how men can be towards you, whether in a negative light or the positive light. All of that I would have been taught by a father. And I never had one. I try to make friends, and they turn out to be fake, or they turn on me. I try to gravitate to family, and they don't even gravitate back to me. I try to date and be in relationships, but they don't work because people want you to be the best version of yourself for them, but they're not willing to become the better version of themselves for you and put in the work. They make you suffer, giving them passes. Meanwhile, the more you let them slide, the more they try to get away with. I tried to be faithful to boyfriends, but recognized I was self-sabotaging being faithful to someone not my husband, and how not to be smart and being sure to never lock yourself down to any man unless you're married to him. Even though only marrying someone who will understand every mood and issue, every urge. I may have, and listen to understand, and not to disrespect or disregard or judge. Therefore, enjoying my adventurous side, not ridiculing me for it. I've been working on me becoming the best version of myself. And people, most of them, are pretending not to see or copying me. I've become a serious taking care of business and entrepreneurship. And no lie, I find people not taking me serious or my professionalism seriously and seeming to hate me more because I'm becoming better. I want to move on and get better, but being held back by life and its hard, bad spaces, trying to stay a good person, but feeling as though bad people are the only ones winning right now. I honestly hope that's not true, though. I'd like to continue to believe in humanity, at least what's left of it. Even though it's hard to do when you have a lot of experiences of people treating you not so good and bad and horribly and taking advantage of you. It's hard to be good to people that's not being good to you. Actually, it starts to come off like you're self-sabotaging and self-abusing because you're associating with these people that you know are not going to make the best efforts towards being good to you. So that messed up my childhood teachings a little bit, for me realizing you're going to get what you give, but not in the way you think and the way that people taught you you are. Because that's something that I was definitely taught. You get what you give, not the way that you think you will. I mean, they got to explain that a lot better. I tried to embrace religion completely, but realizing how religion was created to control people, but not in a good way. We are the only nationality of people with a godlike image we serve that don't even look like us. And that is why we self-hating and seem to love our white adversary enemy who has raped, enslaved, robbed, and drugged us throughout centuries. To this day, they try to make our lives harder on us. I try to believe in the system, and that same system tried to destroy me and my name and rapport with prison time and a prison record. This world is wild and reckless, crazy and dangerous. But instead of my parents and family getting that teaching to me, they taught me to be sweet and kind in a world full of evil people, mean people, trying to take advantage of those who are nice, and you still expect me to be nice and not realize that something is wrong with how I was taught and how the world is? In that one way, I can say I was left a little unprepared. Take two. Okay, to answer your question, Ruth, you're an amazing young woman. You're very smart, you're very talented, you're very well equipped for this world, but you're just not very well prepared for it. So my advice to you, to answer your questions and your concerns, by the way, thank you for coming into our office today to speak with me. I really thought that it would be very helpful for you to come to my office and finally get to be able to recognize the experience and how it feels to be canceled by me as a psychiatrist. I just really appreciate you giving me that opportunity before we start. Okay? Now, Ruth, my advice is keep going. Yes, it's a clown show out here. But once you keep going and growing along the way, you'll start learning and knowing. So yes, I get your story. Broken family and home from the rip. You was messed up from the start, but you didn't give up, and you did the best that you could with what you had, and you were very smart for that. And being able to do that at a very young age, that was good. That was really good. Stay that way though. They hate you for it, You said they don't like you. That's why they don't like you. They hate you for it because, believe it or not, they're going to come to you for your advice and your wisdom one day. So go ahead and continue what you're doing and get as best as possible for you. Share the benefits of you changing, but let your reason for changing and for your improvements be because of you and what you want. No matter if the person stays or goes, you still better for yourself when you get better for you. Don't worry about them telling you that you are too masculine, because you could point out how now men too feminine. But instead of arguing, just take and work on your softness and find an elegant balance for yourself, so you have just the right amount of each. I know it sucks. Life hasn't presented better for you or to you. But instead of being a loser, just being upset about it, and find a way to put yourself on a winning team and in a winning circle. Yes, sadly, men are trained to manipulate these days and not love. So you protect yourself, just not dealing with them at all, or you give them the same energy they freely give you. So if he decides that he want to switch up on you and he want to stop talking to you out of nowhere after he's been talking to you consistently for the last 6 months, you switch up on him and you stop talking to him too. Or you just permanently leave him alone, because these guys playing games, it should not be entertained by anybody, because we're worth better than that, period. So also, if the cheap guys, keep messing with you, either don't date them or just never take them seriously, because you date for marriage, and you are not marrying a broken man. You're not marrying a man that don't have no money. You don't want to marry a man that don't have any means. If they don't have money, they can't raise a family, so don't create one with them. As simple as that. You have to have rules and limits to how you flow and how you move. Because if you don't, people will create your limits for you. And you don't want that, because then people will allow you to be ran all over and ran all through. Okay? So don't allow nobody to do that to you. So if he's not financially stable, he's not consistently or seriously being with me. So you got to understand, when they're not stable, they're not serious about being with you. Because a man that's serious about being with you, he gonna want to make sure he's stable, so he can make sure he does right by you, and so he makes sure that he makes you happy. So he makes sure that he don't lose you. So if he's not making sure he don't lose you, let him go. When they lie and agree to keep up a lifestyle they can't maintain, then leave them alone and get someone better. Self-educate more, so not having a father isn't so obvious, by learning what he could have taught you on your own. Keep that up heavy, and like it already is, your relationship with everyone would be better. Okay? So just make sure to continuously educate yourself about people. Never stop educating yourself about people. Getting to know how people are, who people are, how they move, how they think, how they work. Once you be able to educate yourself about how the people around you are, you can be able to deal with them better and make better connections. So learn people. On top of all of that, you deterring fake friends, you learn to keep teaching yourself about people, like I just said, and their nature, and you will soon attract your tribe. When you learn how people are, learn what you want, learn what you don't want in your life, and make sure you gravitate to what you want in your life, and don't gravitate to things that you don't want in your life, you're going to create your own tribe of people that are going to be good to you. So just don't take people seriously who don't take you seriously. I don't care what no one says. You do not have to be faithful if you're not married. Now, I'm not trying to tell you to go out here running around doing any and everything to any and everybody, because that's just not sanitary. But you do not have to allow anybody to make you feel like you have to allow them to take and waste your time and your effort and not give yourself the ability to be with somebody better who won't waste your time and your efforts. So get to know people, take notes, and keep up with your list of what you want and make sure everything aligns. So when you meet people, when you get to know people, you find out the pros and the cons about them, you see, okay, is this person showing more pros that I actually want in my life, or are they showing a lot of cons? If they're showing a lot of cons, I don't want to connect with that person. If we do connect, I don't need to be serious with them. But if they align very well, it matches perfectly to what I really want in my life, what I really need in my circle, then I will align with them and connect with them, and then we can, actually achieve some goals and get some things done. And I can finally have a supportive circle. And that is what you want. You want to be able to finally have a supportive circle that is never going to back down off of supporting you and making sure that you're good. So be sure to take your time getting to know people. Be careful not to rush things. As you take your time, be very mindful and alert and on your toes at all times, or as much as you can. Get to know people very well and look at them how they present themselves, not how they tell you to. You don't have to listen to them manipulate you, because that's what a lot of people do these days. A lot of people these days, they manipulate you into agreeing to things that they know they would never agree to, but they manipulate you into agreeing with it. So this is the type of stuff, since you notice the type of stuff that people do to you, when you notice that people doing stuff like that, get away quickly. Remove yourself, because they're not in alignment in what you need in your life. So you gotta leave. You gotta take yourself out of the equation. Be honest and straightforward, like no BS when dating and getting to know people. And take notes and keep up with your list of what you want and make sure everything aligns. Don't worry about people not taking your business seriously or downplaying it. Get your lick back and use them as much as they allow you to. Then leave them in God's hands. He got it from there. So I know you're probably thinking, oh, isn't that bad to use people? Actually, no, it's not. Everybody on this planet, literally everybody on this planet gets used. Believe it or not, okay? What makes it bad is when a person ensures that you cannot use them, or they don't allow you to use them, but then they'll turn around and they'll use you. That's when it becomes bad. So just recognize that you're not wrong for using them. It's actually what you need to do so that you can be able to get what you need, if nothing else. Okay? So, next. Easier said than done, right? I know. But stay on course and don't get distracted for too long. I know sometimes you get distracted. It's just a part of life sometimes. Sometimes it's just going to happen that you're going to get distracted. But don't allow it to last for too long. Allow yourself to reevaluate and refocus on yourself and your mental and your physical development. And then you learn all that you can. Never stop learning. Fight through those bad spaces. They not made to last. They are made to teach you important, crucial lessons. And that is it. So make sure that you look at those bad spaces as building blocks for your character that prepares you for real life. Being taught to do better to others, no matter what they do to me, I have to shape that. Because if I don't, I'll continue to be hurt and abused and disrespected. I know that you've been taught your whole life by your mother, by religion, by, you know, everybody in your life that was supposed to be teaching you something. You have always been taught, turn the other cheek, turn the other cheek, turn the other cheek. Sorry, not sorry, but stop turning the other cheek. Because here's the thing. People will kill you if you allow them to. Don't allow somebody to kill you, okay? So that's one thing that I would have to tell you to shake, because you do not deserve to be abused, used, taken advantage of, or hurt by anybody. And you do not deserve to make yourself have to handle or deal with somebody putting you in that space. So that's why I say shake that rule, okay? Don't take nobody crap, okay? Somebody keep giving you crap, leave them alone. Embrace more spirituality than religion, and you'll be fine. If you do talk about Jesus, you make him black purposefully, because that promotes self-love, and that's necessary. Don't be angry with society or the government. Separate from them and live your life. Lastly, unlearn nice girl energy, but keep your sweet attitude. It will take you far in life. At this point, you just have to stay focused, and you have to know God's got you. And as long as you move forward, you stay focused, and you do the best that you can do for you, best results are going to come. Better days are going to come. You're going to come back to my office, and you're going to be able to say, Miss Delgado, I took your advice, and I'm so happy I did. You make sure you have a beautiful day, and I will see you in our next session.